After Manifest was canceled by NBC, Netflix picked up the show, to the delight of many fans. The first 10 episodes of the fourth and final season of the show have just been released, answering tons of long-standing questions, including those of a divine consciousness, which, among other things, offers an account for the prophetic callings that the characters experience. In today's video, we'll be talking about the theories surrounding the fourth season of Manifest. Firstly, what signs lead to the discovery of divine consciousness? The discovery of the missing plane's black box signaled the beginning of the divine consciousness's conclusion. Every single calling is recorded in Flight 828's black box. Sanvi and the Stones needed to know what transpired during the flight during those brief moments when the callings may be heard on the black box recording in order to comprehend it more fully. To get his side of the story out, Mick fooled Captain Amuda, the co-pilot of Flight 828. Amuda claims that every one of them passed away during those brief moments when the callings are recorded. He stated that the lightning was all around them, striking them repeatedly, and then it all came together in front of them to form a huge ball of pure light. He believed they had slammed into it. There is no way they could survive that. He is certain of that. Despite the fact that the experience he recounted sounded terrible, he claimed to have never felt calmer or more at ease. Amuda was certain that the only people who saw it were him and the pilot, Daly. But Cal also noticed the light and said, looking at it, everything simply made sense. Cal's ability to perceive if the light was in front of the plane was still being determined by Amuda. They then noticed that the then brilliant light was actually following the plane rather than the other way around. Next, the first glimpse of the divine consciousness. Cal vanished when he made contact with the tail fin. In actuality, he returned to that same light and boarded Flight 828. Even if a name hadn't yet been given to it, that was the first glimpse of divine consciousness. There were more issues Cal needed to address when he thought back to the messages Daly and Fiona had left for him on the aircraft. He then begins to unpack and investigate the signals and clues they have so far collected with the aid of his sister, Olive. They incorporated diverse artifacts and symbols. The peacock was the first sign and the initial calling, a mythical messenger for the Roman goddess Juno. The peacock represents rebirth. The Gemini twins petroglyph and a wooden dragon, which represents the year 2024, were the other signs. The traveler's death date, June 2nd, 2024, was indicated by these three signals. The silver dragon, also known as the aircraft, Alzura's notebook, and other items in their collection all pointed them in that direction, but they were unable to decipher what it all meant, including a compass bearing a peacock symbol. They began to make connections when Olive recalled that she still possessed a star card with a peacock symbol. They realized that all the similar star symbols on many of the items they discovered were not an accident. They discovered that the compass also had a button when Mick brought a blanket with the same star symbol and what appeared to be a button on it. After that, what exactly does the divine consciousness in Manifest mean? After hearing the words Divina Conscientia, Olive explains that the Tarot's star card, which symbolizes enlightenment, indicates that the holder is already connected to the divine consciousness. At that point, Cal began to notice the glow coming from their collected items and understood that everything is connected. Every sign and calling eventually pointed to the same conclusion. The passengers spent 5.5 years in the glow, which is the divine consciousness. In other words, the divine consciousness is a manifestation of a greater power. What sort of superior force is this? Well, that depends on your choice of interpretation. God might have chosen the passengers to safeguard other people. For instance, Sanvi previously in the program offered a theory that would apply to Noah's Ark. The conviction that higher forces exist outside of our control and faith in a greater good are some examples of a form of higher power. To give us a clearer picture, the show still has to polish the concept of divine consciousness. The symbols and tales serve as reminders that comparable events have occurred throughout history, which is all we currently know. Humans are curious and afraid of the unknown though. We'll therefore have to wait and see if we can draw a clear and comprehensive conclusion for the combination of current technology with the legendary and supernatural. Moving on, Angelina is the fallen angel and Cal is the savior. Zeke Landon's sacrifice has allowed Cal Stone stone to escape death once more. We now know that Cal is a key player in stopping Angelina, since he not only has a relationship with her that is on the verge of being toxic, but also because he managed to destroy the Omega Sapphire. His journey through the 4 seasons of Manifest and his resurrection implies that it has a spiritual purpose. Angelina is a fallen angel, or Satan, because Cal is like a Christ figure, all-knowing, and he was resurrected and returned older. Even her seat on the aircraft, 42D, could have a religious interpretation, since 4 + 2 = 6. The number 6 frequently symbolizes imperfection throughout the Bible, specifically the imperfection of man and his faults and shortcomings. Another possible religious interpretation of Cal is that of the Archangel Gabriel. When Cal returns in season 4 as an older man, the outside world refers to him as Gabriel. Although the reason behind his naming is unknown, the Christian religion describes the angel Gabriel as a guardian angel who looked out for Israel. Angelina might have been referring to the wrong stone child all along if he were representing Gabriel rather than Jesus as her guardian angel. It should have been Cal and not Eden. However, it's too late now because Cal will defend the globe against Angelina. Gabriel is a messenger who foresees prophecies, just like Cal. Also, Cal will learn how to channel the dragon. Another explanation centers on the dragon scar that Cal develops in season 4, which appears to be another important factor in solving the Flight 828 mystery. Henry Kim visited Cal in season 4 to share his wisdom, and most importantly, the scar left by a dragon on his arm. To assist him to get over the challenges he had to face in his life, Henry stated that his father told him that the dragon stood for resiliency, vitality, and power. It's possible that the dragon represents Cal's ability to channel it in order to pass the trial that all of the passengers must participate in order to save the world, because Cal absorbed both the Omega Sapphire and the dragon scar without being hit by lightning. After all, Flight 828 appears to stand for human redemption and a second opportunity. Next, Michaela could be carrying Zeke's child. This season, Michaela has stated numerous times that she does not want children. However, there is a case to be made that this could be foreshadowing in the program. Being childless is fine, and we can perfectly see Michaela wanting to stay that way. But in Manifest, things tend to repeat themselves for a purpose when they do so more than once a season. Michaela carrying Zeke's child may be quite similar to Grace carrying Eden, since the child would be the offspring of 2 parents who experienced divine consciousness and felt callings. It might add another piece to the picture. A couple of times this season, Michaela has been spotted placing her hands close to her tummy, which could indicate that her anxiety over the approaching death date and her subsequent grief over Zeke kept her from understanding that she was expecting before Zeke passed away. Additionally, in an interview with TV Line, producer Jeff Rake disclosed that part 2 will begin a few months after part 1 ends, which is the ideal time to build up Michaela's pregnancy. After that, the passenger sacrifice. The series' primary focus is on the passengers, so it makes sense that whatever must be done to save the world would center on a significant sacrifice made by one of them, if not all of them. After all, everything is connected. The Stone family has spent the last 2 seasons working to beat the death date, but what if that wasn't the goal at all? Instead, their deaths were required to save the Earth from destroying itself. The passengers wouldn't necessarily be truly dead if this scenario were to come true, since they might be able to recover like Zeke did when he gave his life by plunging into the cold lake to save Cal. As a way to say thank you for their sacrifice, their selfless death might serve as a global reset, or perhaps bring the 828ers back to their lives before the plane went down. Lastly, all that we know about the second part of season 4. Part 2 of Manifest season 4 will air on the same 10-episode schedule as part 1, even though a date for its debut has not yet been announced. Depending on how the last episode plays out, the passengers on Flight 828 will either pass away on the death date or survive. Season 4 Part 1 shows how their survival affects the rest of humanity as well. After Angelina finds the allegedly life-saving Omega Sapphire and gives the gang limitless callings, it is now in the wrong hands. Molten lava can be seen crawling out from beneath Angelina in the final shot, in which she is shown walking with the Omega, as well as cracks in the earth. The lifeboat must eventually triumph over Angelina if they are to defeat the death date. The lifeboat believes Cal to be the dragon, the solution to save humanity, as was revealed in the Season 4 Part 1 finale. While Zeke took his own life in order to rescue Cal, Rake suggests that he and his widow, Michaela, have been in touch through the callings in Season 4 Part 2. Zeke might have further explanations for the gang and keep using his abilities to assist them. Rake does, however, appear to hint at a potential relationship between Michaela and Jared, which might indicate that Zeke will only play a minor role in Part 2, when Manifest returns in what is certain to be an explosive finish to its final season. Only time will tell the lifeboat's destiny. That's a wrap for this video. Which theory do you think is more plausible? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.